Hi, can we chat for a minute? Let me guess how things are going for you right now. You've tried the color-coded Google Calendars. You've tried the Pomodoro timers. You've tried getting up early and staying up late. Kind of in that cycle myself right now. And you have to-do lists in 5 different planners. Also guilty. And nothing is helping. I bet you thought to yourself at one point or another, if planners were the answer, I wouldn't feel like I'm behind all the time. Am I right? Well, let me be the first. Well, probably not the first, but let me be the first to tell you that you are not alone, okay? I have been through this a million times. I still go through it from time to time. I feel like it comes and goes in phases. I used to just think I needed more discipline or, just to be harder on myself, like just do this thing, get it done. That's a little bit of it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that could be a little bit of it. But the truth is that you really just need a better system. Once I started working with more solopreneurs, I learned that a lot of that advice is not for people like us. A lot of times that advice is made for people who have teams, who have assistants, who have somebody else at home who can make dinner, not necessarily for solopreneurs who are wearing every single hat in their business. When you are your business, the marketing, the admin, the customer service, plus actually helping your clients, those kind of blanket strategies for time management with the calendars and the to-do list and all of that don't always work. A lot of that time management advice assumes that you can just put a nice colorful block on your calendar and that will magically fix it. Like, okay, I've scheduled 3 hours for client work over here. That means it's all done, right? Maybe you are one of those people who can set time blocks on a calendar and actually stick with them and they work for you. But what I found is that whenever I've tried to do that, it might work for one day, but then the next day it's completely off. I'm talking about when I strategically and specifically sit down and say, okay, today is Monday. I need to do this, this, and this. And I make blocks on my calendar to cover this, this, and this much time for client work, this much time for marketing, this much time for content creation, whatever. And it works great, right? Like I'll even do it with a blank screen, a blank slate, and more or less track my time. How much time did I spend on this to get what I needed done? And then try to duplicate that or repeat that on other days. And it worked great for that day, but it doesn't work the next time I try to follow that same kind of schedule. And I feel like these kind of time management tips kind of want to treat us like we're robots, you know what I mean? Like we are going to follow it specifically every single time, like nothing is going to mess up what's going on, like the dog's not going to need to go out as soon as you start hitting record on your videos, that throws you back half an hour, it just isn't always that clear cut, right? The thing is though, if your energy is gone and you've spent it trying to follow the perfect color coded calendar schedule, no amount of colorful blocks are going to save you. If you're saying yes to any of this so far, be sure to check out my guide for how to save more time in your business. It's designed specifically for solopreneurs who are not ready or don't want to hire support or a VA in your business, because let's face it, not all of us are into that. Like we don't want big teams. It's totally fine. It's completely free and the link is in the description and in the first comment. So make sure you go grab your copy of that. Now let's get into what we can do today, right now, to manage time a little better without completely wearing down our energy, right? Because come on, we have other things going on. Maybe you have kids. I work a full-time job outside of this. We have other things happening besides just growing a business, which means that in the windows of time that we have to work on it, whether you have all the time or 2 days a week off that you're fitting everything in, you don't want it to wear you out, right? Like you need the energy to create the content. You need the energy to serve your clients. And as much as I love a pretty colorful calendar, that's not the answer. Like that's not how you get there. Okay, so let's chat about that. So the biggest game changer for me was I stopped trying to manage my time and I focused on working in energy pockets, managing my energy. Now, I know that sounds a little out there maybe. I've also seen some people talk about how working with energy flows or whatever isn't the best for your business because you need to be consistent, you need to be disciplined, and you need to do the things even when you don't feel like doing the things. And that's not what I'm talking about, okay? You do need to do the things even when you don't feel like doing the things sometimes. What I'm talking about, and this helps with that, is scheduling the things that you need to do when you know you're going to feel better about doing it. So what I'm talking about is, okay, I have, outside of doing this, creating content and for YouTube and the digital products and serving my community in that way, I also do migrations for Kit and I work a full-time job. And I also have a client that I work for X number of hours a month. Okay. So what I'm talking about when I say working in the energy is more or less scheduling those things when I know I'm going to be the best at them. that kind of makes sense. So for example, my retail job, there's basically two shifts you could work, an open shift or a closing shift. The open starts at 9:30 in the morning and the closing shift starts at 12. I know that on days that I close, I can get some work in the morning because I'm more creative in the morning. I don't really schedule any other work on the mornings of when I open because there's not really time to do that in the morning. I may schedule something in the evening, but it's going to have to be something that requires a little less of my brain because I'm tired by the time I get home, right? It doesn't mean I can't do anything. I also sometimes just take the evenings off when I get home because I'm tired. So it's fine. Grab some food, binge watch a TV show. But around that, on the days that I close and I have some time in the morning, or on the days that I'm off, that's when I will do the majority of my content creation. That's when I do the majority of my work for my client because my brain is clearer on those days because I'm off and I'm rested. I really like holding this for notes, but it gets heavy. So I'm off and I'm rested and I can really knock that stuff out and be super productive and efficient at it and not just kind of trying to do work but staring blankly at a screen. So that's what I mean about managing the energy. Kind of know when your pockets of time that you're going to be available to do what type of work, and then make sure you schedule what's going to be the best thing to do in that window of time. So on a day like today when I'm off from the store, I'm going to start the day with planning my content. If I haven't had a chance to do that yet, I try to do it ahead of time, but it doesn't always work. So I'll plan out what I need to record or write for the day. And then I will spend as early as I can recording, doing that thing, getting that out of the way so that the rest of the day I can either work on client work or work on editing the video if I need to do that, because that is time consuming, takes some brain power, but it's not as emotionally, I don't have to be there as energetically as I do when I'm recording a video, right? But for you, maybe those energetic spurts come in the evening. Maybe you're a night owl. Okay, record your videos at night. Record them when you get home from work, or do your client work when you get home from work, or 2 a.m. What I'm saying is take note of your energy and when you are the most productive and schedule your harder tasks during that time. It may be this week. It may be from 9 to noon on a Monday morning, but next week it might not be that day. It might not be that same time frame. Maybe it's from noon to 3, kind of what's happening to me today. Last week I recorded early in the morning and today it's 1. It's after 1. So what I'm saying is it just varies. Okay, so what you've got to do is instead of creating a strict calendar that you try to follow, because in my experience that doesn't work. I've tried. I wish it did work, but it doesn't work. Not for me. So you want to just kind of I almost just want to call it like a block list, okay? Like a loosely structured to-do list. I need to create content today. I need to work with my client today. I need to finish this project today. But then even I need to do laundry today. Add that in there too if you need to do that. And then just kind of work through the list, but not on a strict time schedule. What feels good right now? What can I do right now? What am I energetically capable of handling right now that I can check off this list and then move on to the next one? That's more of how things have worked for me. So the way that I work now, what we just talked about, it's completely different than what most people are telling you to do. And for me, it's way more productive. So I really encourage you to try it. If I had to guess, I would say this approach to my schedule cuts out 90% of the friction because it actually works. I still have to-do lists. I still know what I need to do and when. But instead of making a strict schedule that says you must start creating content at 8 o'clock in the morning because that's when everybody else says that successful people start their business or start work in the morning, I create content in the day that it needs to be created, but at the time that feels better for me. And I know that that sounds like a very duh thing to do, but releasing the need to have a super strict schedule has freed up my brain where I can be more creative and I can get behind other projects and things that I want to do, because while I have a limited amount of time to do them in, I want to work on them. I want to do them. So content creation day doesn't roll around and I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't feel like recording. It's fine. Got my topic. I want to talk about it. Here I am talking about it. It really does change the game when you're not strictly trying to follow a crazy schedule that somebody told you is the best way to do things. So what this looks like for me in real life is I batch create content generally on Mondays. My schedule changes at work, but lately I've been off Mondays and Saturdays. So that's kind of when I try to create the things. I'll usually try to use Saturday to plan, Monday to record, if I can get kind of on that schedule. So like the videos I'm recording today will go out this week. I'd love to get a week ahead, but that's, or more, a month ahead, maybe. We'll see. We'll get there. But right now, this is what we're doing. I use templates for everything that I can. This is for customer service email replies or onboarding templates or just having a daily workflow in ClickUp. Like I use templates for everything. If I need to create a new task in ClickUp, I have a template in there that asks for all the information that I need for that task so that I make sure I don't forget anything. And then there it is. It's added. I don't need to do it today. Maybe it's something for next week, but it's in there with all the pertinent information so that when it comes time for me to do that task, I don't have to like spend time looking for everything again. Templates change the game. Templates and systems change the game. And the real magic behind that is that the mental clutter kind of disappears because I don't have to think about what I need to do. I don't have to decide what I'm going to do. I just have to do it because it's all there. That is the magic of setting up a template and a workflow inside of your project manager. That's a conversation for another day. Today, we are talking about time management. But one of the things that helps me to know what I need to do when I am working on these certain things is that project tracker. Here's the bottom line. The goal isn't to do more in less time. It's to do the right things at the right time that leave you with energy at the end of the day. Does recording videos tire me out? Absolutely. But because of the time of day that I decided to do it based on basically my energy flows during the day, I'll still have energy when I'm done to edit one and write an email for it to go out. And if I'm lucky, I'll get some pins scheduled as well. That's what makes your business feel sustainable. That's what makes it feel cozy and not chaotic. So if time has always felt like your enemy, it's not you, it's your systems. And let's build better ones. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments where your struggle is when it comes to creating a consistent schedule or deciding what to do on your peak energy days. And we'll chat about it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.